we are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7, Episode 2, Know Your Onions. The episode is rated TV-14, so will this video be? There will be spoilers for the episode and everything MCU and adjacent leading up to it. And like all other episodes of the show, absolutely love this one. Let's dive right in. Let us make like these first two episodes do, and like Trump and a number of Republicans are attempting to do in the real world, and go to 1931. Yeah, I gotta say, I when I watched the first episode of this season, I thought, oh, this entire season is 1931. I do appreciate them going to other times and us not finding out yet when exactly they're going to. Let's see. I think yeah. So this episode, all like the first of the season, also has a few mentions of sexism of the time. This time, Simmons says, I'm, damn it, Koenig, I'm a doctor, not a dame. And what was the other thing? Something, a chemist, not a bird, something like that. Yeah, I think that does bring... Right, I guess I'll just very briefly say, one criticism I have heard of this season, that I do kind of... I'm not entirely sure why Enoch completely gave up on the Icer after it was kicked away, because they both jump down... They both get down to where it landed. Like, I feel like at no point during the fight does... Because, like, hypothetically, let's say he grabs... If he knocks her away and then quickly goes for the Icer and then fires it, I feel like that could... I mean, and several of the times, several of his attacks knock her away from him. So that felt a little like, okay, they really wanted there to be a fight here rather than any shooting. And I did like the resolution of the scene, so I think they made the right choice overall. I just wish they had worked out a little bit better why the ice... Like, have him go for the Icer and it's, like, broken because it fell or something. Have Enoch go for the Icer. Anyway, yeah, let's see. Yeah, they managed to, quickly get the bullet. I like, Koenig going up, there's not... Swordfish, now let us in, just, yeah. I did feel like, should he have said, or would it be too obvious for Koenig to go, like, so everybody just knows the password now, I guess, but yeah, so, something like that. A lot of people have come by in a short space of time knowing the password. But yeah, Gemma manages to remove the bullet, stabilize her, and very nicely done bit of... I quite appreciate when a piece of media cuts in time, because, like, clearly between them all standing there at the bar and then the door being knocked down, or the lock being broken by repeated hits by the Chronocops, clearly, something was cut there where Koenig says, okay, go to the back room, there's a hiding spot back there, because they didn't find that on their own, not in that short amount of time, certainly. But yeah, and very, very effective tension as they check, and, he's like, I'm a perfectly legitimate, illegitimate businessman, and not a direct quote, but whatever. And would you guys like a drink? It's on the house. I guess these Chronocoms are better at not taking things literally. I feel like Enoch would have been like, what purpose would the drink being on top of the building serve? I really hope this isn't the last we see of Enoch. I mean, if they're still on Earth and they're just going to different times, maybe they can find Enoch in that time, because he doesn't really age or anything like that, so that's possible. Yeah, Um, I think, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So they're trying to hide in there, and then Viola wakes up, and it's like, I mean, yeah, she doesn't know even one of those people. She has no idea what's going on. I don't know if she knows that it's like cops right out there, because like one can understand, if they don't know what she's doing, then they might help her. And yeah, she doesn't know that these are the good guys, and yeah, they managed to like hand gag her, but also like the she kicks one of the barrels and one of the bottles falls, and yeah, like um before the Shrike got into Elena, we did, yeah, there was the thing about, oh, she sees things move that fast. Even if she's not moving fast, she can see things move really fast. That was around that same time where she pulled a super hot. Did I already make that joke in an earlier video? I'm not trying to repeat myself. I just want to make sure I make that joke. Anyway, yeah. But she didn't react, and Daisy's like, oh, my mistake. I thought you saw it because you were looking right at it. She has to push because like, are you sure you're okay? And yeah, Shrike. They don't know the full effects the Shrike had on her system. They've never, no one's ever come back from that sort of thing. So from a Shrike in their chest. Let's see. I think that does. But yeah, he's like, up rats, and they leave not long after because yeah, I mean, could have been rats. It's not really, and they found the car, so they have something to go off. King. And let's see, when Koenig discovers the shot, as nothing like a good shot to and there's a bullet in there and there's blood. I mean, he probably can't taste the blood too much because there's liquor there, but he does have to swallow the bullet. Yeah, and then he's like, I took a bullet for you people. Wow. All Koenigs are dramatic, evidently. And that was also a great bit, I'd like to get in on the action with this shield thing. Oh, you will. And I'm fascinated by robots. So will your grandchildren be. Oh, I forgot to pick the names of my grandchildren. You don't pick the names of your grandchildren. And, yeah, the thing with, well, any friend of Hydra's is no friend of ours, so they gag her again, which, like, I don't love seeing women treated like that, but then, I mean, there's 3 women in the room, so they must have been okay with it. It's not like they're gonna let yeah, Phil MD get away with that if they really find it uncomfortable, so I don't know. I guess, is that better, or is that... Because they're not, like, brimming with internalized misogyny, I don't feel like, based on the show so far. Anyway, and, yeah, the thing with, oh, you can, you'll never catch up to them. No, you'd have to fly. Oh, we can fly. You'll have to fight your way through hell to get there. And, yeah, he's like, oh, I've been to hell. Yeah, you have. But they didn't, no, I know where it is. Like, we can go there, even though it doesn't exist. And they, yeah. The communication problems were very nicely done. Yeah, the range on those things, obviously, is, yeah. Let's see, then we have yeah, Mac and Deke and Freddy was also quite good. Yeah, the 2 of them trying to figure out what Freddy is doing, and he walks away. He's like, I told you I can't let you. I'm sorry, Mac. I can't let you do that. And then when the train stops, they do manage to get the gun away from him, and yeah, some great stuff on the train, and the stuff about, you know, the stock market crash makes a lot of sense. Don't love all these characters referring to someone committing suicide as cowardly, but I don't think it's the show saying that. I mean, it's people from the 30s saying that. You know, they weren't so enlightened, so I don't think it's ever being cowardly. I hate when people say that about suicide. Let's see. You know, people who consider suicide need outreach. They don't need to be shamed. I think that does bring us to. I will say, you know, when Koenig said, you know, you're stepping off a building right now. You know, he's saying you're being a coward for, you know, doing this. You know, because yeah, you know, it's Hydra. That I do agree. You know, a lot of evil is cowardly, and no evil is good. Yeah, the I think that does more or less cover. Right. Also, the thing with, you know, oh, it's the meat is 500, you know, miles away. And it's like, but then why did you unload? It's, oh, right, train. That makes sense. I think that does bring us nicely to, yeah, really great stuff with May. You know, she is not taking orders right now. The two of us have not been formally introduced. We have worked together in another timeline, which I hear went well. In this timeline, we do not yet know each other. I am Enoch, a Chronocom, and Leopold Fitz's best friend. I'm so glad that Enoch is still 100% on that, like, because Enoch was, yeah. If I recall, they were there for the time travel work. Pretty sure. So they've been gone for a while. It's been a minute since, you know, they talked to Leo. But no, it's still, no, we're best friends. Just, yeah. And I don't disagree. I just love that they're so happy about being Leo's friend, best friend. Important legal distinction, Harry. I think that does. Yeah, the thing with the shot, you know, like, Enoch, you still have a lot to learn about bluffing. You know, at first it did really look like Enoch was going to, you know, jab May with it without her, you know, without telling her, but, you know, Simmons suggested that you take the, you know, and May is like, well, May suggests you take it, and it's like, well, I mean, he's a chronocom, they're not human, so can't really affect this is just, you know, ouch. And yeah, you know, May gets into the uniform and everything and is about to leave and is like, this, yeah, this is not good. And I really like how, like, she's just a little bit pale, like, not like she doesn't look dead, but she doesn't seem okay either, you know. And, you know, there's that thing, she says something like, I don't feel anything, which, yeah, I don't think that qualifies you for this assignment either, soldier. And yeah, you know, as long as the fights are this great, I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, and yeah, Enoch, you know, upgrading to the full hunter package was clever, and yeah, you know, they are at war, makes sense. And no wonder May can hold her own against the Chronocom, although this is also a Chronocom who's not trying to, like, hurt her badly. And that was, yeah, great. You know, the door opens, the car, you know, comes up, and you know, Phil MD comes up and is like, oh, hi, you're not Sarge. And yeah, the fact that she doesn't really react that much to him being back, you know, I mean, I appreciate it. At this point, it's probably like, oh, so you're not an Uncle Ben then. You just, yeah. comic book characters. And you're more of a phoenix. And let's see. Then we have the but yeah, once they are back, yeah, May just wanted to make sure the mission would succeed. The mission has succeeded. And, she doesn't know if she really trusts Enoch. She hasn't met him. It takes her a little while to trust someone. She trusts the others, and they're right there. So, no problem. Right, and I don't think the fight was like a waste of time or something. The fact that, because it helps demonstrate how far May is willing to go. And how much, right now at least, she does not take orders from Enoch. Even if he says they're from, for example, Simmons. She usually listens to Simmons. So, she doesn't trust him. She doesn't trust that he's telling the truth about working for Simmons. I think that does pretty well bring us to the, let's see. I guess that's when everyone meets back up at the... Right, I will just briefly say, yeah, the thing about, so now there's, what was it, 18 minutes until we leave this time period, the Zephyr leaves this time period, with or without us. And, yeah, I mean, they say, why didn't you tell us? She didn't not tell you. I mean, she did say that there wasn't really control over it. They just have to go with the tides. So, yeah. It's a reasonable supposition that she supposed they would suppose. And yeah, really, really cool when they all go to the, yeah, and Koenig, right, the thing, pardon me if I'm not impressed. That was fun. And it's a rocket ship, you're Martians. And yeah, the take this coppers or whatever it was he shouted as they drive up, basically do like a drive-by. Yeah, I think that does pretty well. Yeah, some great action in the climax. The thing about, how we're gonna do that? We don't have guns. Speak for yourself. It's like, yeah, he is a moving weapon, Yeah, and they do manage to get back on board just in time, but not Enoch though. And yeah, see, now I'm actually wondering, because like, would Koenig have been part of S.H.I.E.L.D. if not for this? Like, are they... Is this a time travel paradox? Was this always supposed to happen? Maybe we'll know before the season is over. And certainly it's different from... I'm just going to make absolutely sure. Yeah, this episode aired after Endgame premiered, so spoiling Endgame. Time travel works differently on this show so far, at least. Then I guess it's not impossible; it'll change by the end of the season. But so far, different from Endgame. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say, well, different people built these time machines, but yeah, that feels like a stretch to me. Yeah. Really, really compelling with the, yeah, the conflict about, because it's not quite baby Hitler, but it is like him as like almost a child kind of thing. And yeah, Daisy is very much, team let's find baby Thanos and, tie a knot. Which, yeah, one can understand, but it is like, yeah, I'm a big believer in you try to sway them instead of, yeah, but and I also really love Mac. Like, this is not an argument. this is an order. You're gonna put that gun down right now. And then he does fire, but it's like at the Corona cops instead. That was a nice little, yeah. Also the thing with Freddy, you're many things, but you're not a. And then gunshot, yeah. The old Whedon, expectation subversion. But yeah, I 100% understand Daisy's point of view, and yeah, it was very, very effective. Her trying to, yeah, you know, and also the thing of Deke kind of sees some of Freddy in himself, and Daisy's like, no, you don't. Right, and the thing with oh, he's an inventor. It's got to be plugged into something. Oh, thank you, wise guy. But yeah, Daisy telling Deke, what are you waiting for? Kill Kid Hitler, and then afterwards I can ask you, hey, Hitler killer, how was killing Hitler?